Welcome back to Heavy Bag Heroes, where a guy who hits his heavy bag in the garage gives you the latest and greatest takes on the UFC. Last night we had UFC Fight Night, Sean Strickland versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Sean Strickland getting the win via TKO in the third round. Ended up being a great fight and a great card overall, I would say. All right, starting off with the main event of the evening, Sean Strickland versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Sean Strickland does what Sean Strickland does, man. He just overwhelmed Anthony with the strikes. His defense is really good. His defense is phenomenal. He is very hard to hit. He's hard to deal with. His jab has to be one of the best jabs I've seen in the UFC. It is consistent, but not only that, it is strong. He has a phenomenal jab. He fought a little more aggressively than I think we've seen him in his last two fights. He came back. He looked awesome. No takedowns. Fluffy tried a couple times to get him into a position. Sean got out of everything he threw at him. Really just kind of overwhelmed Fluffy with the striking and walking him down. Thought Anthony was going to kind of gain some traction in the third round, but that's when it ended up getting finished. Sean throws a huge knee up the middle, right to the solar plexus, folds Anthony Hernandez. He starts backing up, and Sean just started teeing off on him and then just got some really good uppercuts in and ended up getting the TKO finish. Man, Sean called out Khamzat at the end, and I would love to see that fight. I think that actually is a great matchup. I do not think that Khamzat would just bulldoze Sean Strickland. I think it would be an awesome matchup. I hope Khamzat does it. Right now, Khamzat's teasing that he's going to go up to 205. I'm praying that does not happen. He does not deserve double champ status yet. He's got to defend at least, and I'm pretty sure Dana White said something about that not too long ago. But I don't want to see Pereira versus Khamzat Chimaev. That's just not going to be a good fight. It's not going to be an enjoyable fight. As much as I'd want to have hope in it, I know that everything in me tells me that he's going to get taken down, and it's just going to be DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev again. I do not think, though, that Sean Strickland is getting worked like DDP did in that fight. So, anyways, Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez ended up being a great fight. We got our bet here. I took the over on 83.5 strikes. All right, in this fight on my 5-man slip, I took Sean Strickland over 85.5 significant strikes. That felt like a pretty safe bet. And the fact that he was able to get it, he got 110. The fact he was able to get it, or 111 here on the UFC page, in 3 rounds is nuts. If that had gone 5 rounds, he would have for sure broken a record. He looked phenomenal. His striking looked great. His takedown defense and clinching looked really good. I think he definitely deserves a title shot next, to be honest. This division's kind of in a strange place. I think they give it to him, Anthony Hernandez. I think he's got 1 or 2 fights, and then he wins both of those. He's going for the title. So really great fight. Moving on from that to the co-main event of the evening, Jeff Neal versus Uros Medic. This was an incredibly surprising fight. Jeff Neal came out, and the way he was moving, I thought, okay, this is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a good fight. I think Jeff Neal is going to be able to take it. I thought the step up in competition for Medic was going to be a hard thing to deal with, and I thought it was going to be kind of I thought it was going to be more of a banger, but they got into an engagement. Medic got the left hand across right on Jeff Neal's temple and just put him to sleep. And I don't know if this is like Jeff Neal coming back a little too early from the Carlos Prates fight. I just feel like guys should take as much time off as they can in between fights after they get knocked out like that. That's tough. That's tough to come back from. But Uros Medic is going to be a scary person to deal with in the welterweight division. I'm excited to see how he continues and progresses forward because he came on the scene so quick. He's been knocked out in the first round, but he's got 3 first-round knockouts, now 4 first-round knockouts in a row. My pick for this fight was that Uros Medic was going to get 21.5 over 21.5 significant strikes. He ended up only getting 10, getting the first-round finish. So that did not go over how I thought it would. I need to go back and see what some of these other guys predicted for that. I just really thought the step up in competition for Uros Medic was going to be tough. I thought Jeff Neal was going to have great defense. It was going to be a stand and bang, a possible finish in the second or third round, but I thought for sure 21.5 over was a pretty safe bet. Clearly it wasn't. You win some, you lose some. It ended up being a great performance by him. Moving on from that, featherweight bout of the night. Gosh, man. Very sad about this. Dan Ige versus Milakis Costa. I think that's how you say his name. I'll just call him Costa. Man, this was disappointing. 7 seconds left. Dan gets hit with a huge spinning back kick right in the face. Does some pretty good damage. Doesn't knock him out, though. He kind of folds over, which it's like, hey, he just heard the 10-second mark. Of course, he's going to try and protect himself as much as he can. Just let those 7 seconds run out. I took the 2.5 over on this. I thought that was a very safe bet. But I did not realize the size difference of these two guys. Dan Ige was significantly smaller than Costa. Costa was abusing all of the all the kicks in the kicking range. He fought a really good fight. I was very surprised. He looked way more high level than I had initially given him. And Ige's never been finished before, and this is the first time he's ever been finished. It's tough. Initially, I took the it was like the safe bet, the 2.5 over 2.5 rounds. But then when the fight started, I was like, man, I hope Dan Ige just flatlines this guy. Dan took a lot of time off, working on mental health, trying to find his love for the game, and I just hate that this is how he came back. It's a tough fight. I feel bad for Ige. I love Ige. I think he's a great guy. He's been a great role model on Instagram for people on what it's like to struggle with mental health. And I hope he comes back better than ever. I hope he recovers quickly. But Costa, that guy's a problem. I think he called out Diego Lopez, which that would be a horrible, horrible matchup for him. Or Diego would eat him alive. So we'll see what happens with that. Ended up being, pretty decent performance. He got performance of the night. But yeah, moving on from that, the heavyweight bout. Golly, I can't stand the heavyweight division right now, man. Ante Delia, sorry, I said his name completely wrong on the last episode. Sergey Spivak versus Ante Delia. Ended up going all 3 rounds. Unanimous decision, Sergey Spivak. Spivak just decided to have the fight of his life. There was actual TKO potential. It took this fight to be under 8.25 minutes. So I needed the fight to end before 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the second round. There was like almost TKO potential like 10 seconds before that mark. Sergey fought a great fight. The jab was going for him, and he just stuck to that. He had a couple scary moments, but he weathered the storm of Ante Delia. And I can't believe it went all 3 rounds. Neither one of these guys have seen a third round in like 8 fights. It just doesn't make any sense. The statistics were there for the under on the 8.25 minutes, but it is what it is. Ante is he seems like a problem, but Spivak just was launching that jab the whole time, and that was a problem for Delia. I have no idea. I don't know, man. The jab is it's almost as good as the calf kick. Actually, it probably is better than the calf kick. The jab is king. I don't know why guys don't use the jab more. Spivak and Strickland just abused it, and it clearly works in their favor. Really frustrating to deal with the jab, and you could tell Delia was really frustrated by it and was looking for big moments and just couldn't find them. Good for Spivak for getting back in the win column. I think he's lost his last 3, so didn't hit on this one. Moving on from that one, we've got Jacoby Smith versus Josiah Harrell. Got this one. I think I had said first round TKO of Jacoby Smith, first round finish of Jacoby Smith. Josiah Harrell stepped in pretty late notice, I think maybe a week or 2. Hadn't fought in like over a year. If you listen to the last episode, he found out he had a brain disease because he had a bad weight cut last year when he tried to weigh in for a fight. And then the medical team came in. They ended up doing like a CAT scan or something, found a brain disease, had to get brain surgery, and then came back and is fighting Josiah Hall. And Jacoby Smith, and he had a really good performance up until the finish. Jacoby Smith just had this freak reversal. Josiah Harrell ended up getting the takedown on him, and somehow Jacoby Smith reversed it, almost got him in a crucifix, and then just waylaid on him on the ground. I ended up getting the knockout. Jacoby Smith is a problem. He's going to be fun to watch. His cardio, I think if he can step up with his cardio, he's going to be a freak to deal with. Really fun in the welterweight division. So I think he's going to jump up to the top 10 real quick. He might even run through a lot of those guys in the top 10. He seems to have it all together. His wrestling's phenomenal. His striking's really good. Really good kicks, too. Very underrated. His kicks are very underrated. So I'm really excited to watch Jacoby Smith moving forward. I actually didn't have a pick for this on Prize Picks. I didn't have either one of these guys. I think maybe Josiah Harrell had something on there. I don't know, but I didn't like the pick. But in the previous podcast, I had said I think Jacoby Smith by finish and that in the first round, and that's what happened. So the odds ended up being a lot closer. It was minus 330 for Jacoby Smith and like maybe plus 200 something for Josiah Harrell, which is like, I wouldn't call that first round knockout odds for Jacoby Smith, but definitely like a favorable win. A minus 1,000 is like a guaranteed first round finish in that sense. Moving on to the first fight on the card, Zachary Reese versus Michel Pereira. How Zachary Reese did not get the win, I am not sure. I kind of understand because of the damage on his face, but I thought he fought a really good fight. I think he's very slow, to be honest, and I think he should have used takedowns a lot more. I think he's really good on the ground. I just love the guy. I don't know why. Shiner, Texas. I think that's awesome. He's got like this incredible build to be a really good fighter, and I think he is a really good fighter. But Pereira got the split decision win for whatever reason. He was down on total strikes. What do they have for significant strikes? Down on significant strikes. Zachary Reese was going for submission attempts. He got a takedown. Michel had several moments where he didn't get kicked in the groin, and then he would act like he did, and then they'd give him time, and then an eye poke as well, which I don't even really agree it was an eye poke. But I don't know. I'm not in there. I'm not a fighter. Ended up taking over 1.5 rounds for this, and it almost did not happen. This is the only other one I hit on. I was hoping Zachary Reese was going to get the finish at some point. Thought it would happen in the second or third round. Ended up not happening. But he went out there and put on a show. He got beat up pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. But I think he had a lot of fun, and I think he put on a show, and it was a very entertaining fight to watch. But yeah, I don't agree with the split decision win. I think Zachary Reese should have won that. But overall, UFC Fight Night, it was a great card. I really enjoyed it. I think my predictions were Zachary Reese win, Jacoby Smith win, Ante Delia win, Danny Ige win, Jeff Neal win, and Sean Strickland win. So I only got like 2 out of 6 of them right. Little disappointed in that, but that's how it goes in the UFC. Things don't always go how they should or how you think they're going to go. That's it for today's episode. Pretty pumped about that UFC Fight Night. Really looking forward to what the UFC's got for the rest of the year and ready to see some more fight announcements as we should. There's been a lot of speculation recently going on with what kind of fights are coming up, and we'll see. We'll see whenever that time comes. But y'all have a great week. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the episode. And yeah, thank you guys.